मी भाऊसाहेब सीताराम आरोटे, RBNB College, Srampur. Today we see the topic systematics of living organism. In between these, 5 kingdom systems of the classification. Suppose we see between this topic, what is the systematics of living organism? If we keenly observe to the surrounding or as into the environment, so many type of the plants or as organisms can be found from unicellular to the multicellular organism. Suppose in this unicellular to the multicellular organism, that is plants and animals are different. Their habitat are also different. So their mode of nutrition are also different. Some are the autotrophic, some are the heterotrophic, some are the parasitic, some are the saprophytic. So all these type of the plants gather together for the systematic guidelines or as a systematic habit or as a some criteria or as a some scientific reasons. These all type of the plants will be gathered or grouped into the separate groups. So the classification is an important for the classification or as a difference between these plants to classify in different groups. Because why? And that is the mode of nutrition or as a habitat are also the different. Some plants as well as animal live inside the water, above the land, that is cursorial habit. On the plants, on the animals, in the moisture or as a aquatic habitat or as a symbiotic habitat can be found. So in particular type of the habitat as well as plants and animals, so we have need to classify because their size, shape, appearance, structure, shape, mode of nutrition, all criteria are different. So we have need to classify these living organism into some systems. It is known as the kingdom. So between these kingdom systems, some unicellular to the multicellular organism, from prokaryotic to the eukaryotic organism will be divided into a different groups or as a different genera, different species. For this classification of these plants, that is unicellular to the multicellular, that is prokaryotic to the eukaryotic organism, will be classified into the different groups or as a different kingdom. For this classification, some scientists work on it, but nowadays, that is, suppose we take best example like that is Carl Linnaeus. Carl Linnaeus divided the kingdom into two major kingdom, that is kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. These classification will be based on the mode of nutrition. But between these habitat of the living organism are the different. So it is not a clear idea for the different for the classification of the plants. Because why? That is mode of nutrition. Some are the autotrophic and some are the heterotrophic. Plants are the autotrophic, parasitic or as a saprophytic. Animals are the heterotrophic. Or as some animals are the holozoic nutrition can be found between these organisms. So different type of the criteria will be studied by the scientist R.H. Whitaker, and then he put forth a new advanced systems of the classification. These are the 5 kingdom system of the classification. In between 5 kingdom system of the classification, R.H. Whitaker classified the unicellular to the multicellular organism into the 5 kingdom systems. That is, it is known as the 5 kingdom systems. Suppose we see which are the character will be included for the classification of these 5 kingdom systems. First, see, that is a unicellular prokaryotic organism. They will be classified into the Monera as well as Protista. Because in Monera and Protista, some are the prokaryotic, some are the eukaryotic. So eukaryotic organism will be found into the Protista, kingdom Protista, and a prokaryotic organism will be seen or is found or included in the kingdom Monera. The next kingdom will be taken by this R.H. Whitaker. These are Monera, Protista, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Fungi, and kingdom Animalia. These are the major 5 kingdom. So he classified on the basis of mode of nutrition, habit and habitat, then cellular form of the organism, their structure, their function, their location, their habit and habitat. These some important character will be included, and then these classified. And then these R.H. Whitaker classified these living organism into the 5 kingdom systems. That is the Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia, and kingdom fungi. That is the mode of nutrition. Suppose we see first kingdom, that is the kingdom Monera. What is the reason or what is the characteristics of the kingdom Monera? Suppose we see kingdom Monera. The Monera are unicellular organism. What is meant by unicellular? You always know about the amoeba, paramecium. These are the animals. They are unicellular organism. So these organisms are the unicellular, but having the prokaryotic cellular organization. What is meant by prokaryotic cellular organization? Pro means primitive, karyon means nucleus. That is a carry means that is from genetic material will be carried from one cell to the another cell. It is that is the span is that is life period is very short, so it is known as the prokaryotic. So between this prokaryotic cellular organization, so these plants or these unicellular organism will be included in the kingdom Monera. Monera includes that is unicellular prokaryotic organism, and these organisms are omnipresent, will be found everywhere. What is meant by omnipresent? Omnipresent means they will be found on. मराठीत सांगायचं झालं जळी स्थळी काष्टी पाषाणी everywhere these unicellular organism can be found. So these organisms will be found into the all type of the environment. What is all type of the environment? Between these, that is these are the some are the photoautotrophic, some are the chemoautotrophic, but majority of them are the heterotrophic. If we see, that is these organisms, they are the photoautotrophic. What is meant by photoautotrophic? They contain the chlorophyll pigment. They have ability to synthesize the food material with the help of photolight. Some are the chemosynthetic. What is meant by chemosynthetic? They have no need of the photolight, but in presence of chemical substances like of the sulfur or as iron, these bacteria or these unicellular organisms have ability to synthesize their own food material. Some are the heterotrophic. What is meant by heterotrophic? That is, they are depend for food, their food on the another. For the food, they are depend on the another. So some are the heterotrophic. In between these plants, nucleus is not well defined. In these unicellular organisms, nucleus are not well defined. So DNA are present inside it, but these are the circular and single as well as double stranded. DNA are the genetic material. They are the single as well double stranded. So these are the very primitive. So DNA contain extra chromosomal genetic material. In between unicellular plants, genetic material, these are the DNA. The extra chromosomal genetic material are present. This genetic material is known as the plasmids. What is the plasmids? Plasmids, these are present on the cell wall and made up by peptidoglycan. That is many peptide bond and glucose. It is made by the many peptide glycan. This peptidoglycan, it is known as the murine, and which is polymer, sugar and amino acids. Meaning of that is peptidoglycan is made by the long chain of peptide or as a polymer, that is sugar and amino acid. These are the polypeptide long chain and sugar. So it is known as the peptidoglycan, long chain of the peptidoglycan, that is cell wall of the unicellular organisms are made. Then next point, if we see, that is the membrane bound elements like mitochondria. Some important constituents are present or absent inside the cell. Suppose best membrane bound elements like of the mitochondria. Mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of cell, but they cannot be found inside it. So membrane bound mitochondria, chloroplast, endoplasmic reticulums are absent inside this cell, so known as the primitive or as a prokaryotic cell. So in these ribosomes are present, but they are very small in size. Ribosomes are present, they are very small in size. That is the 70S type of the ribosomes are present inside these cells, and within these some are they will be found into the some eukaryotic cells. Then important character between these, that is they can be reproduces. Their progeny will be developed or as a produce. Their progeny will be developed by the in process of asexual reproduction, because without union of the gamete, that is asexual type of the reproduction will be found in this unicellular organism. It is the type of binary fission as well as budding. What is binary fission? Binary fission, bi means two, that is fission means division, that is single cell that is the parent cell get divided into two daughter cell. In between, that is the division of these parent cell, that is chromosome number or as a chromatin material equally divided into the two daughter cells. So these are it is known as the binary fission. That is the best example between it, that is the amoeba are the best example for the asexual reproduction in binary fission. Then within some organisms, that is the budding type of the asexual reproductions can be found. Best example you always know about the yeast. Yeast are the fungi or as a saprophytic. That is the reproduction between these fungi. These are again as a budding type of the having, that is a parent cells develops or grows a bud. After a complete development of this bud gets separated from the parent cell and new daughter cells can be developed from it. Then next, that is morphologically, some bacteria will be seen in these categories. That is the suppose we see this Monera, it includes some bacteria. What is the bacteria? There are 4 type of the bacteria. First bacteria in it, that is the first bacteria, these are the spherical bacteria. Spherical bacteria, best example, that is the coccus. Size is rounded. They will be, these bacteria will be live into the colony. Second type of the bacteria, these are the rod shaped. That is the best example, bacillus bacteria. Bacillus bacteria shape look like has a rod. The next type, that is the comma shaped. Third type is the comma shaped bacteria. In it, best example for the comma shaped bacteria, these are the Vibrio. If we see the shape like of the comma, so it is known as the comma shaped bacteria. The best example of it, that is Vibrio. And last is the fourth type, these are the spiral shaped. Spiral shaped bacteria. See the structure of it like of these are the spiral shaped or as wavy. This bacteria is also known as the spirochete. Spirochete. On the basis of structure, that is the bacteria will be divided into 4 groups. First is the spherical bacteria. The shape of this bacteria is rounded. So example, best example it for the coccus bacteria. Next type, that is the rod shaped bacteria. It is also known as the bacillus bacteria. Best example, that is the bacillus bacteria. These are the shape of this. Third type is the comma shaped or as a Vibrio. Shape is like of the comma. Next bacteria, that is spiral shaped, that is spiral long and elongated. Best example, that is the spirochete. These 4 type of the bacteria will be found surrounding to us on the basis of evolution. Again, so suppose we see these are the 4 type of the bacteria. On the basis of evolution, bacteria again has a classified into 2 major groups. One is the Archibacteria, that is Archaebacteria, and next is the Eubacteria. Archaea means very primitive type of the bacteria, and Eubacteria, they are the long lasting or as they can survive for a long days. Suppose we see between these, that is 2 important type of the bacteria on the evolution. These are the first is the Archaebacteria. Archaebacteria. Second is the Eubacteria. Archaea, primitive type of the bacteria. And Eubacteria, these are the long lasting, they survive for a long period. Again, these Archaebacteria are differentiated from other bacteria on the basis of their cellular feature. These Archaebacteria are divided on the basis of their cellular features. The bacteria found in extreme environment. व्हॉट इज एक्स्ट्रीम एन्व्हायरमेंट की ज्या ठिकाणी आपण अशी कल्पनासुद्धा करू शकत नाही की अशा जागेमध्ये ह्या बॅक्टेरिया राहू शकतील किंवा जिवंत राहू शकतील. तर विच आर द एक्स्ट्रीम एन्व्हायरमेंट? This extreme environment, it is known as the extremophilous bacteria. Which are the extreme environment? Best example, that is volcanic craters. दॅट इज सम बॅक्टेरिया विल बी फाउंड इन टू द व्होल्कॅनिक क्रेटर. जिथं ज्वालामुखीचा उगम असतो अशा ठिकाणी काही बॅक्टेरिया आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात. जर आपण ज्वालामुखीचा विचार केला तर प्रचंड कुठल्याही प्रकारचे वनस्पती किंवा प्राणी जर ज्वालामुखीच्या संपर्कात आले तर आपल्याला माहिती बर्न किंवा जळून जाऊन त्याची राख होईल किंवा त्याचं डोंगर वगैरे कडक दगड डोंगर वगैरे तयार होतील. परंतु अशा एक्स्ट्रीम कंडिशनमध्ये इन दिस एक्स्ट्रीम कंडिशन दॅट इज सम बॅक्टेरिया विल बी सर्वाईव्ह. सो इट इज नोन ॲज दिस बॅक्टेरिया इज नोन ॲज द व्होल्कॅनिक बॅक्टेरिया. सम बॅक्टेरिया लिव्स इन टू दी सॉल्टी लेक्स or as a some live into the hot spring. What is mean by salty lake? You always know about the salt, that is meat. Sodium chloride is an important. It is also known as antibacterial, antifungal. मिठाला बऱ्याच वेळा आपण अँटीबॅक्टेरियल अँटीफंगल म्हणतो. ज्यावेळेला पिकल्स लोणचं तयार करतो, लोणचं मुरवण्यासाठी मिठाचा वापर केला जातो. मग याचा अर्थ बॅक्टेरिया जे असतील किंवा लिव्हिंग ऑर्गॅनिझम युनिसेलर ऑर्गॅनिझम कॅनॉट सर्वाईव्ह. हे जे बॅक्टेरिया की ह्या मिठाच्या संपर्कात आल्यानंतर जगू शकत नाही किंवा राहणार नाही. परंतु काही बॅक्टेरिया अशा आहे दिस बॅक्टेरिया विल बी लिव्ह ऑर सर्वाईव्ह इन टू दी हाय सॅलिनिटी ऑफ वॉटर. जिथं प्रचंड प्रमाणामध्ये खारट पाणी असेल दॅट इज इन द प्रोबॅबली दे विल बी फाउंड इन टू दी सी किंवा ज्याला टायडल रिदम्स खाडी ज्याला आपण म्हणतो समुद्राच्या खाडीचा भाग असेल या खाडीच्या भागामध्ये किंवा समुद्रामध्ये अशा प्रकारचे बॅक्टेरिया आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात. म्हणून दिस बॅक्टेरिया विल बी नोन ॲज दी दे विल बी लिव्ह इन टू दी हाय सॅलिनिटी. सो इट इज नोन ॲज दी हॅलोफिल्स. दिस बॅक्टेरिया इज नोन ॲज दी हॅलोफिल्स. बट सम बॅक्टेरिया विल बी स्टँड्स इन टू दी एक्स्ट्रीम टेम्परेचर ऑफ द वॉटर दॅट इज दी extreme temperature of the water. So it is known as thermophilic bacteria. Are you always known about the hot spring? जिथं गरम पाण्याचे झरे की काही ठिकाणी सपोज वी आर गिविंग व्हिजिट टू दी हिमालयन रिजन. हिमालयाकडे गेलं किंवा मुंबईच्या रिजनकडे जर गेलं तर वी ऑलवेज नोन अबाउट तिथं काही गरम पाण्याचे झरे आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात. ह्या गरम पाण्याच्या झऱ्यामध्ये सुद्धा ह्या बॅक्टेरिया पाहायला मिळतात. म्हणून काही ठिकाणी आपण बऱ्याच वेळा एक धार्मिक भावना अशी लावली असते की अमुक ठिकाणी गेलं तिथं गरम कुंडामध्ये आंघोळ केली की त्वचेचे वगैरे आजार किंवा रोग वगैरे असतील निघून जातील. याचा अर्थ काय होतो की दिस फंगल डिसीज विल बी कॉझिंग टू अवर बॉडी. एखादा फंगल अटॅक किंवा फंगल डिसीज जर आपल्या शरीरावर आला असेल तर ज्यावेळेला ह्या पाण्यामध्ये आंघोळ केली जाते त्यावेळेला तिथल्या बॅक्टेरिया जे असतात दीज आर दी ज्याला जैविक ज्याला आपण म्हणतो की त्या प्रमाणामध्ये मायक्रो फर्टिलायझर किंवा बायो फर्टिलायझर किंवा मायक्रो न्यूट्रिएंट किंवा बायो कंट्रोल ज्याला आपण म्हणतो त्या प्रकारामध्ये बायो कंट्रोल ह्या बॅक्टेरिया ज्या असतील त्या फंगायला खातात. पर्यायाने काय होतं की दॅट इज दिस डिसीज स्किन डिसीज विल बी गोज आउट ऑर कॅनॉट बी सीन टू दिस पर्टिक्युलर पर्सन. म्हणून अशा गरम पाण्याचे झरे जे आहेत ते अशा ठिकाणी आपल्याला गरम पाण्याच्या झऱ्यांमध्ये आंघोळ केल्यानंतर त्वचेचे विकार जातात. त्याचं कारण का ह्यामध्ये असणाऱ्या बॅक्टेरिया जे असतात तर ह्या बॅक्टेरियांमुळं बऱ्याच वेळेला हे असं दिसून येतं. म्हणून दिस बॅक्टेरिया विल बी लिव्ह टू दी एक्स्ट्रीम टेम्परेचर. आणि बऱ्याच वेळा आपण विचार करतो की जास्त टेम्परेचर केल्यानंतर निर्जंतुक होतं. 100 डिग्री सेल्सिअस 50 60 70 40 50 डिग्री सेल्सिअसच्या पुढे तापमान गेलं तरी आपण बऱ्याच वेळा निर्जंतुक म्हणायला सुरुवात करतो. परंतु अशाही उच्च तापमानामध्ये ह्या बॅक्टेरिया जिवंत राहतात. म्हणून दिस बॅक्टेरिया इज नोन ॲज दी एक्स्ट्रीमोफिलस बॅक्टेरिया दॅट इज थर्मोफिलस बॅक्टेरिया बिकॉज व्हेरी हाय टेम्परेचर दे विल बी लिव्ह. इफ वी सी द बेस्ट एक्झाम्पल फॉर इट. But some bacteria live into this. Some bacteria are the methogenic. Methogenic means you always know about to produce the gas. मग गॅस कुठं केलं तर मिथेन गॅस they will be produced into the abdomen or as a these are the rheumatic organism or as animal like of the cattle, buffalo. म्हणजे जनावरं जे असतात जनावरांच्या गट्स किंवा पोटामध्ये ह्या मिथेजनिक बॅक्टेरिया असतात. दीज मिथेजनिक बॅक्टेरिया हॅव ॲबिलिटी टू प्रोड्यूस दी मिथेन गॅस. सो दीज बॅक्टेरिया इज यूज्ड इन टू दी बायोगॅस प्लांट. काही जनावरांचे जे 4 ॲबडोमेन किंवा रवंत करणारे जे प्राणी असतात ह्या रवंत करणाऱ्या प्राण्यांच्या पोटामध्ये मिथेजनिक बॅक्टेरिया असतात. म्हणजे अशाही कंडिशनमध्ये ह्या बॅक्टेरिया जगत असतात. ह्या मिथेजनिक बॅक्टेरिया जे आहे दे हॅव ॲबिलिटी टू प्रोड्यूस दी मिथेन गॅस. ह्या बॅक्टेरिया मिथेन गॅस प्रोड्यूस करत असतात. म्हणून बऱ्याच वेळेला गोबर गॅस प्लांटमध्ये ह्या ज्या मिथेन बॅक्टेरिया आहेत त्या पाहायला मिळतात. आणि त्या ज्या बॅक्टेरिया आहे त्या आपल्याला गोबर गॅस म्हणजे मिथेन गॅस घरगुती ज्वलनासाठी जो गॅस वापरला जातो तो तयार करण्याची कॅपॅसिटी ह्या बॅक्टेरियामध्ये असते. देन नेक्स्ट पॉईंट ॲज अ इम्पॉर्टंट द नेक्स्ट दॅट इज अ सेकंड टाईप इज द यू बॅक्टेरिया. इफ वी सी दॅट इज यू बॅक्टेरिया. व्हॉट इज यू बॅक्टेरिया? Eubacteria is nothing but the true bacteria. True म्हणजे काय? What is bacteria? It is made true or as a false. म्हणजे primitive as well as prokaryotic as well as eukaryotic bacteria. It is a true bacteria. Now what is true bacteria? If we see the character between it, some characters, cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. You always know about the peptidoglycan, that is the polypeptide chain of the glucose and amino acids. That is the cell wall is made up of by the peptidoglycan. These bacteria are autotrophic as well as heterotrophic. Meaning is clear. Auto synthesis their own food material. Hetero depend for food on the another. सो दीज आर द ऑटो म्हणजे स्वतःचं अन्न स्वतः तयार करणारे बॅक्टेरिया. हेटेरोट्रॉपिक के अन्नासाठी दुसऱ्यावर अवलंबून असणारे जे बॅक्टेरिया, दोन प्रकारचे बॅक्टेरिया याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात. वन इज द ऑटोट्रॉपिक, सेकंड इज द हेटेरोट्रॉपिक. ऑटोट्रॉपिक दीज आर दी फोटोसिंथेटिक और एज ए कीमो ऑटोट्रॉपिक. बेस्ट example in photosynthetic bacteria, these are the chlorobium. Chlorobium, these are the bacteria. These are the photosynthetic bacteria. They contain the chlorophyll pigment. These are the green chlorophyll pigment are present inside it. Some are the green sulfur bacteria are also found. These green sulfur bacteria have ability to synthesize their own food material in absence of light, but in presence of chemical substances they can synthesize their own food material. These are the, it is also known as the chromatium or as a chemosynthetic sulfur bacteria. It is known as the chromatium or as a chemosynthetic sulfur bacteria. These bacteria are multicellular. These bacteria are multicellular. आपण याच्या अगोदर पाहत होतो the plants, that is Monera, they will be included only the unicellular organism, but some bacteria are the multicellular, that is more than 2, 3, 4 special structure or as a filamentous body can be produced in it. That is filaments, long and elongated filaments will be produced. They will be found into the fresh water. गोड्या पाण्यामध्ये राहणाऱ्या ह्या बॅक्टेरिया जे आहे ते आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात. नंतर बॉडी इज कव्हर्ड बाय द म्युसिलेजिनस सीथ. बेस्ट एक्झाम्पल फॉर द नॉस्टॉक ॲज वेल एज ॲनाबेना, दे विल बी फाउंड इन टू द पॅडी फीड. एक्सटर्नल कव्हर ऑफ these long and elongated filaments, they will be covered by the mucilaginous sheath to protect the internal organs of these cells. So mucilage will be covered on the body of these filamentous organism. Genetic material is typical prokaryotic type. Again here are the genetic material is the typical prokaryotic type. Photosynthetic pigments like chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotene and xanthophylls are present. There are the 4 type of the chlorophyll pigments: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotene and xanthophylls. These 4 type of the chlorophyll pigments are present in these organisms. The filament shows the heterocyst helps for the nitrogen fixation. Suppose best example we see here figure like of the anabena. These are the filamentous algae. That is one cell is a very long and elongated, so it is known as the heterocyst. These are the heterocysts. These are the long chain of the filaments. These are the nostoc. These are the filamentous algae. These are the mucilage. It is the mucilage covered by the mucilage. These are the heterocysts. These are the long. These cells having the larger than other cells. They have, it is known as the heterocysts. These heterocysts have ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. You always know about the environment. Near about 72% nitrogen, free nitrogen are present into the atmosphere. Near about 72% free nitrogen are present into the atmosphere. But plants have not ability to fix direct atmospheric nitrogen, but only some plants, that is these organisms, have ability to fix the nitrogen, but only a particular type of the cells. These are the heterocysts. These are the different from the other cells. So only these cells have ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. So these bacteria plays important role in the paddy field, ज्याला भाताचे खाचर किंवा भाताची शेती म्हणतो. Between these paddy fields, the bacteria have ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. So these heteromorphs are the most abundant. Some are the decomposers. Some bacteria are the decomposers forming minerals. काही बॅक्टेरिया जे असतात डिकम्पोजिंगचं काम करतात, म्हणजेच मिनरल ज्याला आपण फर्टिलायझर्स खतं ज्याला आपण म्हणतो खतं तयार करायचं काम करतात. सम आर द अनएरोबिक हेल्प्स फॉर द कर्लिंग ऑफ द मिल्क, दॅट इज लॅक्टोबॅसिल आहे. दुधाचं दही करणारे बॅक्टेरिया आपण एन्शियंट फार प्राचीन काळापासून पाहत आलो की दुधाचं दही करणारे बॅक्टेरिया आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात. म्हणजे दीज आर दे विल बी इन टू दी फर्मेंटेशन इंडस्ट्रीज. काही फर्मेंटेशन इंडस्ट्रीजमध्ये ह्या बॅक्टेरियाचा वापर केला जातो. काही बॅक्टेरिया सम बॅक्टेरिया विल बी प्रोड्यूस, दे विल ॲबिलिटी टू फिक्स द ॲटमॉस्फेरिक नायट्रोजन. इट इज नोन ॲज द ॲझोटोबॅक्टर. Some are the antibiotic production. You always know about antibiotic production. Suppose any type of the fever or as a disease, if we give visit to the doctor first you ask what will be held to you? Then we tell that is a fever or as a temperature, like then doctor will firstly prefer that is antibiotic tablets or as an injection to you, because why? To control the particular type of the diseases, because why? These unicellular organism are also used into the antibiotics. Some are the useful for the composting and degradation of the oils. कंपोस्टिंग अँड डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ द ऑइल तयार करण्यासाठी सुद्धा ह्या बॅक्टेरियाचा काही उपयोग केला जातो. सम आर द पॅथोजन्स. व्हॉट इज द पॅथोजन्स? कॉजिंग द डिसीज. बऱ्याच वेळेला आपल्याला युनिसेल्युलर ऑर्गॅनिझम आहे ते कॉजिंग द डिसीज करतात. विच डिसीज विल बी कॉज्ड बाय दिस? दॅट इज टायफॉइड. टायफॉइड तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, टायफॉइड, कॉलरा, TB, टिटॅनस. These type of the disease will be causing by these bacteria. So these unicellular organisms, some are the useful, some are the harmful, so they have ability again to fix or as a, so these Monera are a very huge group on the earth, and these groups, that is particular type of the bacteria, are useful or as a harmful. Then today we will stop here, then see the next. Thank you.